Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, on this fine Tuesday evening. We are at the Auto Club Speedway for the beginning of All-American Racing League's Cup Championship as we're catching the tail end of the practice here. We got 5 minutes to go before we start our qualifying laps. Should have a full grid here, but before we do that, let's get into some of the Cup Series schedule. So, they've already ran the full season. As I said, this is the start of the championship. Okay. Top 10 drivers in points will be eligible. So we got 10 guys out here on the tracks. If you pay attention, I believe it might not be popping up, but I was told next to their names, if they got a PO next to it, that's going to stand for playoffs. So we'll see if that pops up on our simracingapps.com standings board. It may not. So let's break it down just a little bit. So round of 10 will consist of 3 races. At the conclusion of the round of 10, the top 6 in points will advance to the round of 6. Points will be reset to 2,000 per driver, and 2 bonus points per win will be carried over to the round of 6, which is right now we're starting the round of 10. So all these points are going to be reset. Drivers are going to have points that are being carried over from their regular season wins, which we'll get into the point standings here in a second. Round of 6, which is going to consist of Martinsville, Pocono, and Chicago. There's going to be 3 races with the top 4 drivers in points at the conclusion, moving on to the championship race, which is going to be August 20th, 100 laps at Michigan. No bonus points will be added in the championship race. Highest finishing driver out of the 4 will be the champion. So let's break that down a little bit. So tonight we're starting at Auto Club, 75 laps. Next weekend we're going to be heading to Kentucky Speedway down south for 100 laps. The following week, on June 8th, we're going to be at New Hampshire for 150 laps, and that's going to round out the round of 10. Moving into the round of 6, as I said, Martinsville, Pocono, Chicagoland, in the championship round at Michigan. So let's get into the point standings before we get too caught up into the action here. And I'm sorry if I butcher some of these names. I do apologize. I'm going to say them as best as I can. But it looks like Joshua Hetrix is going to be starting first in standings for this playoff. He has 1,004 points. Chad Snyder is going to be second with 1,002, and so is Jonathan May and Kyle Martin, respectively. All 3 of those drivers are tied with 1,002 points. The following drivers that have had no bonus points but are in the playoffs are David Lafano, David Hillbilly Hera, Frederick Houle, Travis Rodriguez, Tyrone Yohe, and John Higgins with 1,000 points respectively. So those are going to be the 10 drivers to look out for in tonight's race. Everybody's starting from scratch with obviously the couple of bonus points, but you know, that's a nice way to win a race here in the regular season. But starting this championship, it's anybody's race here. So those guys that don't have any bonus points, they're only down 2 points. So all those guys are going to be battling for position tonight. But so is everybody else on the track. And I don't think I have a full roster in front of me. But the guys that are going to be on the track tonight, it's always competitive out on the racetrack, regardless if you're in the playoffs or not. So there's going to be some action all over the track. Hopefully we get a lot of green flag racing tonight in the Cup cars here at Auto Club. Go over in some notes here, some last minute notes before we start hitting the qualifying. As you can see, 30 seconds to go before we start getting these guys on the track for qualifiers. Auto Club Speedway here in California, formerly known as the Auto Club Speedway for sponsorship reasons. It's a 2-mile, low-banked, D-shaped oval speedway in Fontana, which has hosted NASCAR racing annually since 1997. It is also used for open-wheel racing events. The racetrack is located 47 miles east of Los Angeles, and is apps.com. It wasn't showing up on the standings, but I see it. I see it in my relative on my broadcaster 60.
Okay. As long as you see it there somewhere, okay.
Am I going to have to reset this? Sorry, guys, we're going through some backstage stuff here live on air, but that's all right. Am I going to have to reset this sim racing app standings? Because I have practice with the time, but the drivers' names aren't popping up on the leaders.
I don't know that they will till we get full laps. We just have to see if somebody runs it full
All right,
lap.
excellent. Okay. All right, yeah. Well, we should be good. Yeah, so we're back up, David. Appreciate you, man.
Yep, I'm out.
All right, buddy. See ya. That was David Harris, ladies and gentlemen. That guy has been behind the curtains, if you will, helping me out with all the technical stuff. You know, I'm just the guy that gets on the mic and talks in front of you guys, but he's really the one that puts this all together. You know, he's heavily involved with the sim racing apps that we use tonight, my broadcaster, my spotter, and all that stuff. So David's played a hell of a role here at All-American Racing League. Shout out to him. We would not have this presentation without him. So, speaking of David Hara, in his bio here, I think he also, so he's running the Silo livery tonight, but he also runs a white and purple car, which is for, and I'm going to butcher this, but Chiari awareness, Chiari, also known as zipper heads. It's a malformation. It's a condition which brain tissue extends into your spinal canal. It occurs when part of your skull is abnormally small or misshapen. Pressing on your brain and forcing it downward can require brain surgery to remove portions of the brain. Now, why is that important? Well, his girlfriend just had this surgery and is a survivor 4 years now. She has a scar on the back of her head that looks like a zipper, hence why they call themselves zipper heads. I don't mean to laugh. It's not funny, but I'm glad that people out there can have a little bit of a sense of humor when it comes to things like that. So congratulations to his girlfriend. I don't have her name, but she's had the surgery. She's been a survivor, so good for her, and cheers to you out there if you're catching the broadcast. Moving on, we have Fred Houle, originally from Connecticut, but now in Virginia. He's our third driver with 1.5 years on iRacing. Grew up within 5 miles of Stafford Speedway, where his grandfather raced, and his cousin Ronnie Williams currently races and holds 2 championships in SK Mods. So Fred Houle, definitely coming from a family of racing. He's going to be in the number 59 Cup car tonight. Sponsored by Full Circle with Nick and Fred podcast. New episodes out every Thursday morning. Available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere where you can download podcasts. See if we can switch cameras here. Let's get a car out. So every time there's a car that goes into the pits, it's obviously going to cut out just a little bit, so don't worry there. That's no technical difficulties there. Just cars coming in and off the track, getting their qualify. Well, I guess we're in another practice session, which is fine. So I jumped the gun a little bit. I thought we were just running that one practice. But still, I mean, 20 minutes, that ain't nothing. We can sit here and talk about these drivers all night long. Next, we have Caden Tufts. No. He's also, I'm sorry, Fred Houle is also sponsored by Caden Tufts Designs for all your iRacing scheme needs, which, by the way, Caden Tufts does run in our tour mod Thursday nights. He's a hell of a driver, very fast guy, and he also does designs for iRacing. So if you're new around here and you're definitely looking for a league, not only to race in, but just a good group of guys who help each other out and can help you with setups and help you with liveries and designs for all your cars, we do have that as well. So look for us on Facebook, All-American Racing League. We have a Discord. I'm sure we'll have a Twitter here pretty soon. Lots of things going on with this league as far as growth, as far as broadcasts are going. So a lot of special things going on here. We also have Patrick McQuaid out there tonight. He's going to be running in the 77 car. He's 24 years old from Nelsonville, Ohio. He's only been on iRacing for 10 months, but he's already making a name for himself, not only in the public lobbies, but in the league races as well. He is sponsored by Muffler Man. He's driving the Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. Muffler Man is a mechanic shop that performs all sorts of services for your vehicle needs. It's located in Athens, Ohio, where his father-in-law has owned the shop for almost 9 years. So shout out to those drivers that sent their sponsor information in. We appreciate you guys. As we kind of just sit back and watch some more of these practice laps here. So far, as it looks like most of the drivers have put in some laps. It looks like Lewis Clark in the 73 car has the fastest practice lap so far, as you can see in the standings, with a 40.4, followed by Jonathan May and Joshua Hetrix, 0.09 and 0.13 behind, respectively. Thank you for the follow, Wicked Star. Appreciate you. Welcome into the channel, guys. Appreciate you having here. We're really hoping for a good turnout this evening as we kick off this championship. All right, let's start getting busy on the cameras, huh? So we're not watching cars in the pits. I do apologize. We were kind of running through some information there on another device. Getting caught up there. But let's take a look at some of these other cars that are out running some hot laps in the practice. Lewis Clark still holding on to that top spot in the number 73 car with the 40.43. David Lafano, David Harris, Larry Garnes, Frederick Houle. Going to be eating up the back half of our grid this evening. As we got a little bit of contact there into the practice. Let's take a look at some of that action and see what's going on here as we start looking at some of the incidences here. That's the 59 car getting a little bit loose. 77 trying to avoid him, and a huge wreck into the wall for that 59 car of Frederick Houle. So he'll be back into the pits as the mechanics will start getting to work on his vehicle right away. He could probably turn in some more practice laps here. Of course he can, because this is sim racing and there's 17 minutes left to go. So he'll come on in for a quick fix, probably get a fresh set of tires, and he'll be back out on the track. Hop on board here, the number 25 car of Joshua Hetrix. As he's showing off that ORR Lawn Care. As we talked about, his number one sponsor coming into tonight's championship race. Looking really good there, Hetrix. So you can see the PO on his name right there, or behind his name. If you see that at any point tonight, that means that is a playoff car. So that's not part of his name. That's a couple of these drivers are going to have that. David's going to have that. Patrick Tyrone and some other, Jonathan May, Travis Rodriguez, and Frederick Houle. Joshua Hetrix coming in with a best lap of a 40.56 so far tonight. He just got done running a 40.601. He's on his 10th lap of practice so far, so he's definitely trying to get a little bit faster than that 40.5. So he'll be looking for a strong run, as he is currently first in the standings this evening. So he's going to try to feed off of that. Sitting at 1,004. They got 2 points per win, so he's coming in here as the only driver with multiple wins on the season. So that's got to be a confidence booster as he's coming in here, racing this stiff competition here. Looks like he's going to call it, going to the pits, maybe work on his setup. This is the Auto Club out here in California. We're going to be racing at night, 75 laps here in about 14 and a half minutes. Appreciate you guys joining in with us. As I'm now just reading the chat, we see that Fox Girl is David's girl. Her name is Laura. Hey, it's good to have you here with us, Laura. Hope you don't mind. David sent me in that piece. I definitely wanted to bring that up, if anything, at least just to get some awareness. And as I said before, congratulations, and we're glad that you're here with us tonight. And I'm sure David's glad you're here every day. So. But good for you, and again, thanks for the follow, and it's nice of you to be involved with him as he gets ready for this 75-lap race and rooting him on. And David's such a good guy. He's helped me out a lot with setting all this stuff up. So if he's halfway as nice as he is, setting everything up here as he is in real life, I'm sure you got yourself a good one out there. So hats off to you both. I may not always be able to look at chat. I got a lot of things going on here. Of course, I got the race that you guys are seeing on your screen on my 35-inch. And then above that, I have my Discord. I have my broadcaster replay controls and a couple of other things going on as well. So I'm going to try to get my chat on a different screen so that I can try to interact with you guys as much as possible. But if I don't read off as much chat tonight, then it's probably a good thing, number one, because that means there's a lot of action on the track. But number two, just know I got a lot of things going on in the broadcast booth right now, a lot of notes to go over and working the cameras and things like that. So I'm going to step away for a minute. We're going to stay in the scenic camera here at Auto Club as you guys get to see what the track looks like. We did see a car spin out there in practice. Before I step away, we'll just take a look at that. Not too sure who that was. I know that's okay. It was a one-car accident. He got a little bit loose. No big deal. Plus, we're still in the practice session, so no harm there. I'm going to step away just for a couple of minutes as we get to check out this laser scan track here at iRacing of the Auto Club Speedway. So I'll be back in a couple of minutes, guys, as we are going to get to green flag racing here in about 11 minutes. Get your drink, get your snacks. It's going to be a long show tonight, 75 laps.
Who's there?
I brought
That's horrible.
Faded in, so when he comes back, I want to tell him something real quick. He stepped away, so just trying to.
Oh, what?
Hey, Faded, you can put that in windowed mode, and stretch that out where you can see the full names. Or in frame mode, I mean. Yeah, I may have been wrong about that.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I am back into the booth. We have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left of practice to go. I'm sure you saw us finagging a little bit with the broadcast. We're just trying to test out a few things before we get into the actual qualifying and the race. So don't mind any of that. The stream's okay. Me and David are just working a little bit behind the scenes to try to put on a better show here for you guys. So I think we're done with that, though. We're just going to leave everything where it's at and get ready to go racing here under the 2-minute mark. So 2-minute warning to every driver out there. They're going to be getting in a couple of more laps, heading back down to pit row. Every driver out on the track right now, as we do see the 77 car get a little bit sideways, Patrick McQuaid, but he saved it with just a little kiss on the wall there. His quarter panel is going to be a little dinged up, but heck of a save there out of Patrick McQuaid. Lewis Clark still holding the fastest lap in practice with that 40.42, followed by the 00 of Jonathan May, who's .08 seconds behind Lewis Clark in the practice session. Patrick McQuaid, who just had the save there, is .11 behind, followed by David, .13 behind. And Joshua Hetrix in the 25.14 seconds behind. That's going to be your top 5. As you can see, though, everybody really close here. Not a whole lot separating the front car and the guy in the back of the pack here. So this should be a really fun race, especially once they start drafting with one another, learning it, feeling each other out here. As the energy is going to be a little bit bigger than it was in the regular season here in the playoffs. Hopefully we get a nice little scrappy race here, not too many cautions. So Larry Garnes and the 20 cars now joined us in this practice session. We do have a couple of drivers that weren't part of the first practice session that you may see have come through here in about the middle of this one, as they're going to get some rubber onto the pavement themselves as we get ready to qualify here. That's it. That's going to be the checkered flag for practice. So Lewis Clark, both practice sessions, has the fastest lap. Let's see if he can repeat that in the qualifying sessions here and see if he can get that pole. We appreciate everybody being here on Faded GG, but this is All American Racing League. This is their show. I'm just happy that they included me here and was able to allow me to broadcast this on my channel. But shout outs goes to all the drivers and to this league. Good group of guys so far. If you guys come across this broadcast, or if you're just hopping in here live right now, if you guys are looking for an asphalt league, these guys race Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, with Legends being on Sunday, these Cup cars on Tuesdays. Obviously, it'd be a little late to jump into the season now, as we are in the championship portion of this season. And then on Thursdays, they're currently running the Tour mods on the Tri-Track Trifecta, but that's going to be switching over to the late models next season, where we pick 3 tracks and alternate between those 3 tracks for the entire season. So we'll have a full season hopefully broadcasted of that next season, and then obviously the championships as well, right here on Faded GG. So definitely drop that follow, turn on notifications if this is what you're into, and if you want to actually jump into the track, search up All American Racing League on Facebook. These guys will help you out as fast as they can. They'll get you into the Discord and get you set up. We do have Caden Tufts doing a lot of liveries for these guys, chopping it up in the paint booth. So as we wait for some of these guys to get their second laps in, looks like so far it's going to be Chad Snyder. You see that PO next to him just barely, and I apologize, these names cut off, but I got it as large as I possibly could. But if you see that PO, basically if you see their names and you see a dash, whether you can see the PO or not, if you see that dash, that is a playoff driver. There's Lewis Clark. He is going to be taking the pole position, it looks like, from Chad Snyder. Jonathan May even bumped up in front of that number 5 out of Chad Snyder. He's a .06 behind Lewis Clark, who's a little bit slower in the qualifying, but that's to be expected. These guys don't have a slipstream out there. They're not drafting with anybody, so he's still pulling in a time of 40.47. All within about a half second of each other here. Minute 40 to go before we get onto the grid and let the pace car run around a couple of laps, and then it's going to be green flag racing here at Auto Club. 75 laps as we kick off the NASCAR Cup Championship for All American Racing League. "45 seconds left to go as these guys are strapping in, getting mentally focused, tightening their gloves, making sure their wheels nice and tight, set up to their base, making sure their pedals feel good where they need to be, getting comfy in their chairs. I know we have some drivers, I don't know how many, but some of these drivers do have DD wheels. 75 laps is not going to be an easy go here. They're going to be really sore after this. So, but that's what they want. You know, they want the immersion with the DDs, and that's what they're going to get tonight. That's going to do it for qualifying, as the 73 of Lewis Clark is going to hold on to the number 1 position here. He's going to be starting pole for us, followed by Jonathan May, Chad Snyder in that number 5 car, Patrick McQuaid, David Harris, David Larfano, and Travis Rodriguez, Joshua Hetrix, Frederick Huell, Tyrone, and Larry Garnes going to be finishing out our grid back there starting 11th. So we start getting some of the cars on the track. You can see the pace trucks got them all lined up, double file, as we start getting onto the track here at the Auto Club. We're on board here with the pole sitter, Lewis Clark. He's going to be taking us out onto the track here. 1 lap to green. As I'm sure the nerves are starting to get tense here inside these cockpits. As we check all our angles here, pace truck's going to be coming off. We're going to be green flag racing. We appreciate you guys tuning in here. This is All American Racing League Championship Series Round 1 here in the NASCAR Cup cars. 75 laps. Pace car off, get ready to go green.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag's on. Lewis Clark's going to be leading them down into turn number 1. Chad Snyder right on his bumpers. The 00 of Jonathan May is going to take the way outside there, followed by the 77 of Patrick McQuaid. These guys are going to have to start getting together here. As you can see, a little bit of blinking coming out of Jonathan May. He comes off, actually scrapes the wall. He's going to lose valuable time as they come out of turn 2. Number 77 making a run on that 00. That's going to be Patrick McQuaid moving up to 4th place. Let's see if he can fight for that 3rd position, as Lewis Clark does have a half-second lead coming out of turn 4 here, as he's going to not only be pole position for us, but he's going to lead lap 1. Chad Snyder's going to take that 2nd place away from Jonathan May. Take a little bit of the field here. Everybody's giving each other a lot of space here in the beginning. That livery on the number 79 car of Travis Rodriguez looks pretty cool from up here. There's David Harris, the number 15 in the Silo Chevy. That's what we're going to call it, the Silo Chevy. That's Support Your Local Outlaws for anybody out there that's interested in that paint scheme. We got the G Fuel number 8 of David Larfano. He's also rocking the Samsung on the side, the number 59 car, trailing them. But again, giving each other lots of room up here. As you can see, kind of like 2 sections we got going on here. That little split between the 77 of Patrick McQuaid and David Harris almost has 2 packs of cars here. As I start fumbling over my words, I think maybe I'm more nervous than these drivers were. Excuse me, I apologize. David, though, looks like he is catching up to the 77 of Patrick McQuaid. Oh, yeah, he's going to be on him right here. So he's going to be moving his way up the field. David is a playoff contender here, so every position matters for him. As we take a dip back here to the 02 car, running his own pace here. That's going to be Tyrone. He is a playoff racer in this series, so I don't know if he's just having some trouble back there. I don't know why he's so off pace. Maybe we missed him. Maybe he went to go lose it a little bit, and obviously cost him some seconds as he's now 10.5 seconds off pace. You hate to see that in a playoff contention driver. As we make our way back up to the middle of the field, hopping on board here with Patrick McQuaid. He's going to be working that middle line. Chad Snyder working the outside line. Looks like he might have got a little squirrely there. Didn't cost him too much time. The bottom of the picture, Jonathan May sitting in the 4th place. As Lewis Clark has been able to maintain just about 0.4 to a half a second of a lead. He's sitting very comfortable up there. That is not a playoff driver, but he's obviously still wanting to win the race, as everybody on the track is, as we've completed 6 laps of the 75 opener here for the championship at All-American Racing. This is at the Auto Club Speedway here in Fontana, California. Patrick McQuaid working that inside, trying to get that second place off of Chad, but Chad's going to contest off that outside line. He's going to make it work for him. As you're going to see, Patrick's going to catch him just a little bit going into that corner, but I think Chad's going to pick it back up going off the curve there as he actually hits the wall there. That's going to be some time off of his lap here. His 00 is going to go underneath the line. He's making the pass. And he is going to take that second position away from Patrick. But immediately contested by Chad Snyder in the 5 car. He's rocking the Lowe's livery. 77 might have got a little bit too much damage here. She's definitely slowed down his pace. That's Patrick McQuaid. The number 15 car of David Harris is going to pass him. He's also going to get contested by the 79 car of Travis Rodriguez. So I don't know what's going on there. He might have had some damage, or maybe he's just saving tires and fuel. Who knows? As we get back into the blimp here, we're going to head back up to the leader. That's going to be Lewis Clark in the 73. Comfortable lead as it's grown out to almost a second between him and the second place, and Chad Snyder sitting back in 3rd. Over a second Lewis Clark has on him. Coming up on 10 laps here. Haven't had a caution yet. These drivers giving each other lots of space here. It's a pretty big track. And it looks like for the most part, I mean, there's a lot of racing lines. You can go on the inside, the middle of the track, and as we see from Chad Snyder making that outside line work and at least be competitive with most of the field here. So drivers definitely have the choice of racing line that they want. That always makes for some good racing here. This is the battle to keep your eye on right now. This is for 3rd right there with Chad Snyder in the Lowe's car, but David hot on his trail in the 15 Silo Chevy. The 77 also in the Muffler Man livery. That's Patrick McQuaid as these guys battled it out for 4th place. Travis Rodriguez and Joshua Hetrix rounding out our top 7, followed by David Lafano, Frederick Kuhl, and Larry Garnes in our top 10. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Nothing too detrimental, though, as Patrick McQuaid did make the pass onto David. Now he's going to scoot up He was working that inside line on David for a handful of laps there as he finally made the inside line pay off. He's going to scoot up to the top of the track, and David's going to try to use the draft to catch right back up to him and reclaim that fourth position, or that third position, excuse me. Our points leader, Joshua Hetrix, in the 25, sitting about 3 seconds off pace. He's going to be in that 7th position here, but obviously there's a lot of racing left to go on. Some of these guys might be just hanging on to some tires, saving some fuel. On a track like this, there's a lot of clean racing. At the beginning, you can kind of just sit back and get into a little bit of a rhythm, and with about 20 laps to go, you can really focus in and start making a move up front. And there is Joshua Hetrix making a move from 7th to 6th. Now he's going to be looking to be passing David Harris in that 5th position as he's starting to make a run on that outside line. He's going to be right on the bumper there. Let's see if he tries to go on the inside. And he did. We missed that pass. I apologize. Used the draft, got right on David's bumper, went on the inside, and then crept right back up to the high line. So that's 2 positions David has given up now. He might be doing the same strategy, though. He might be letting off a little bit as he's going to be working that inside line. So we get a nice angle there. The car's camera shaking. You can hear the horsepower screaming. iRacing does have some good audio and some really good visuals when it comes to these Cup cars. Let's hop on board here with Jonathan May. He's in 2nd place, but he's got a crowd behind him. You can smell the blood in the waters. What a big gap turned into a little gap. That's 77, Patrick McQuaid on the inside. Let's see if he can make that line work. As he's trying to look for 2nd place, followed by the 5 car of Chad Snyder as they almost get 3 wide coming out of turn number 2. Jonathan May's going to hold on to that 2nd place for now. Patrick's going to stay on the bottom, try to make sure that inside line's running good for him. However, you do have Chad Snyder and Joshua Hetrix working that outside together. If they can get a little draft going here, they might end up leaving Patrick behind. Now Chad's going to drop to the bottom line here. Travis Rodriguez in the middles. We're going to open up to 3 wide here before this race is over. Obviously, it's still early. Nobody's going to do anything crazy like that right now, but towards the end of this race, it's going to be 3 wide. I can guarantee it. Seems like at any moment these drivers want to, they can really turn it on and start making something happen. Jonathan May in the Ford Mustang out there. I think he's probably one of few. Seems like most drivers have elected to jump into the ZL1 Camaro. Let's check up on our leader here, Lewis Clark. He's got such a big lead, you almost forgot that he was out there running that 73 Project Dynamic livery in the Toyota Camry. And he is just cruising, having a good time out there. He was the fastest in both practice sessions. And he did start pole, so he's definitely the hot hand here at the Auto Club. 18 laps out of 75 are completed. It's going to take one big mistake for Lewis to not win this race. I mean, this guy is just flying. So you can see at the top of your screen, a 2.5-second lead on a track like this. This guy's really getting it. As we fall back to the 25 car of Joshua Hetrix, made his way up from 7th all the way up to 2nd place within a matter of about 3 to 4 laps here. We kind of saw him turning it on. As I suspected, I think at the majority of this beginning here, he was holding back, probably saving tires, saving fuel, and once he decided it was time to go, he got right back up there into that 2nd place. As now he's going to try to work on this 2.5-second lead. Lewis Clark has jumped out too. Followed by Jonathan May in the 3rd position, Chad Snyder and Patrick McQuaid. Rounding out your top 5 is we do end up completing 20 laps here of green flag racing here at Auto Club. I don't know what happened with David there. Looks like he was going to try to get on the inside. Something definitely costed him as he had to give up another position to the 79 of Travis Rodriguez, and he fell back quite a bit there. I don't know if he just started to get a little bit loose, maybe tried pushing it a little too hard into that corner. No worries there, though. We're about to come up on the 25-lap mark. Still plenty of racing to go, so you can kind of afford those mistakes and those mishaps. He'll be right back into it. As you can see, as we hop back up here with Lewis Clark, just how far he is in front of the pack here. So we get a nice shot of that Project Dynamic livery that he's running. He's only 3.5 seconds up, but it looks like it's miles, as we do have our first car going a lap down. That's going to be Larry Garnes. He's having trouble with his car. Tyrone, who is in the playoff contention, nearly 20 seconds behind. He's kind of had a slow night overall. Maybe he just couldn't quite figure out the setup, but whatever it is, he's obviously had a really strong regular season, excuse me. Yeah, so David Hara has fallen all the way back to 8th place. So I don't know what happened there, but it looks like our leader's going to start coming up on some more lap traffic here as he does the right thing and lets the leader go by. Smart racing there by Tyrone or by Larry Garnes, who's now 2 laps down. It's unfortunate there. He must have some damage that he just can't fix in the pits there, but he's going to get back on the track and run some laps and run her to the end. Top on board here with the 79 of Travis Rodriguez sitting back in 7th place. Another one of our playoff drivers. These guys are running that high line. That's David Lorfano, another playoff driver in front of him. ...160 miles an hour as they come out of those turns. The speed's well over 180. Well, about 180 before you actually hit the next turn. Slowing all the way down to 149, 150. And then they get right back onto the gas. .48 laps to go. But it's been Lewis Clark's show all night, ladies and gentlemen. The fastest in practice, the fastest in qualifying, and a huge run here in the championship opener as he's almost got his lead out to 4 seconds. Now Larry Garnes being up there, he got a lap back, so he's only 1 lap down. That's important. If there's a caution to come out, he's going to get the lucky dog to get back onto the pace here, but even more so, if Lewis wants to use him to draft, he can. So Larry Garnes being right there helps himself out. He gets back a lap, puts himself in that lucky dog, and it works out for Lewis as well because now he's got a drafting partner if he chooses up here in front of him, as if his lead's not already big enough. So good work by both those guys right there. So we take another look at this lead. 4.3 seconds separates the leader and Patrick McQuaid sitting in 2nd place, driving the 77. Joshua Hetrix, our points leader, again, probably gained the most positions as far back as 7th or 8th, all the way back up to 3rd. As she's going to start working on Patrick McQuaid for this 2nd place. Really need a caution to come out to group these guys back. If any of these guys want a chance of catching Lewis Clark, something's going to have to happen. 30 laps complete here at the Auto Club of 75. As we got JoJo Big Chungus rooting for the 59 car of Frederick Hool. Ben Parisi in chat, I see you there, buddy. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate you being here with us. Ben, if you're ever into oval racing, man, this is the league to get into. This is All-American Racing League. They run Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Good group of guys. I know you're a little bit new to iRacing, racing the Mazdas, racing the road courses like myself. But let me tell you something. These oval tracks, these oval cars, they're a lot of fun, man. If you're interested, let me know after the stream. I'll get you introduced to some of these guys out here. Middle of the pack's going to be Chad Snyder in that number 5 Lowe's Jimmy Johnson tribute car. As Jimmy Johnson said, farewell to NASCAR and has been racing open wheelers. Not too sure how successful he's been, but I mean, to be as dominant in a motorsport as Jimmy was, I'm sure he's handling himself just fine running those formula cars. I'll tell you what, Larry Garnes took that lap back from Lewis Clark. He's only a lap down, and he's setting a pretty good pace here. His last lap was a 41.68. With his best lap being a 40.7. So he's a little off pace as far as the leaders go. But since he took that lap back from Lewis Clark, as we're talking, he must have been hearing his name, checking into the stream as he gets a little bit of wall touch in there. But he's in the DuPont 20. And he is just flying around, hoping that we do get a caution, that he does get that lucky dog. Because if he does, this guy's flying right now. He might have a shot. Patrick McQuaid getting himself some distance between him and Joshua Hetrix, both running second and third respectively, followed by Jonathan May and Chad Snyder. Rounding out your top five, David Lerfano, Travis Rodriguez, David Hera, and Frederick Hool and Tyrone, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, Yohi, rounding out our top 10. The chat has spoken. As you can see, we hop on board in the 59 car of Frederick Hool. He's rocking the Full Circle podcast with Nick and Fred, driving the Ford Mustang. You can catch their podcasts on Spotify and other streaming platforms. Yeah, let's all root for Larry, man. He needs to get that lap back because, like I said, ever since he took that lap back from Lewis, that guy's been flying on the track. And still is. Oh, as Frederick's going to get into the wall just a little bit. Now, we have seen quite a bit of drivers do that this evening. I think it's just one of those tracks that, it's easy to lose that focus, turn in and turn out. We're 37 laps in now. The fatigue's probably starting to set in, not just physically. Like I said, some of these guys, they do got direct drive wheels, and 75 laps is going to push them to the limits, but mentally as well. I mean, especially on a track this big, you got to take into consideration a lot of these drivers, like who we're on board with now, they're out there on their own. I mean, they're like, they're zoning out right now. And, yeah, sure, they're still focused on the race. I'm not taking anything away from them. But you start getting into that twilight zone. And what happens is you just take that turn a little bit too fast, and you come up the track, and you ding your quarter panel. It's not really a big deal. You don't lose a whole lot of time. But, it is what it is. And we've seen, some of the top drivers in here do it. So just one of them things, man. One of them racing things. JoJo69, Big Chungus. Always a good stream. Great job, Faded. Love the content. Hey, man. Well, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate the support. Along with everybody else that's here in the chat. Don't be shy. So we do have some cars pitting, including Joshua Hetrix, our points leader. Travis Rodriguez is going to take over that first place, followed by David Lerfano, as some of the leaders have opted to pit. These guys are going to be getting fresh tires and fresh fuel and maybe a little bit light repair, but I doubt it. Definitely tires and fuel, though, as we see our race leader. Looks like he's already coming out of the pits. That's Lewis Clark. He's going to drop back to 6th for the time being. But some of these cars haven't pitted yet, so you are going to see some guys that are a lap down. But once everybody pits and gets out of pits, that's going to catch back up, and those guys are not only going to get that lap back, but they'll probably get their original position back as well. So, nothing to freak out about right now if you're rooting for one of those guys and it says 1 lap down. Don't fret. Now, I think Larry Garnes is going to get his lap back. I don't think he pitted. He didn't need to. He came out of the pits earlier. That's how he got a lap down to begin with. So I think he was able to stay out there, and eventually he's going to be able to get this lap back as well, I think. We'll see how it plays out. But Larry, back at home, we're all rooting for you to get that lap back. As Tyrone, playoff contention driver, he's a lap down as well. We'll see if that plays back out. But as you can see on the right of that standings, a lot of those 1 lap downers are now starting to get back on the lead lap. Here with Travis Rodriguez, he's now going into the pit, so he did lead a lap here. I'm not sure. We ran over the point system beforehand. I'm not too sure if you get any points for leading a lap or not. My apologies for not knowing that. But, well, even if the number 20 car did get his lap back, I think he just got put back down another lap once this all gets straightened back out. We'll start seeing Lewis Clark right back up into that first place position. Frederick Houle, I think, opted to stay out. Yes, he did. So he's going to lead a lap for us here at the Auto Club 75 lapper. Lewis Clark hot on his tail, though. In fact, I think they just made the pass on that. So Lewis Clark's going to be back in that first place position. It's going to be like nothing happened. Yeah, Lewis is on the move here. That's right. I mean, this guy's just had a jetpack strapped to the back of his number 73 car all night long, as nobody has been able to keep pace with Mr. Lewis Clark. And he does take that position from Frederick, as he has had to pit now. He's going to be the last one to pit. We'll see if he goes a lap down or if he's going to be able to get in and get out before that happens. Larry Garnes does get that 1 lap down back, but Tyrone got his lap back, so he's back on the lead lap. As we got 33 laps to go, it's going to be Lewis Clark's race to lose at this point. As I just said, nobody's been able to really keep pace with him. But Lewis is going to be coming up on some lap traffic here. I did hear contact in the back. I'm not sure if that was just a 1 car hitting the wall type deal or not. I did hear contact, but no caution, so as we start catching back up to some of these drivers on the lead lap in this second and third place battle between Patrick McQuaid and Joshua Hetrix here, as they are less than a second apart. Jonathan May in 4th, David Hillbilly Harris in 5th, and Chad Snyder in 6th, each about 20 to 21 seconds behind the leader, Lewis Clark. He pulls in one of his faster laps of the night with a 41.32. So we start taking a look at some of these best laps. It is belonging to Lewis Clark, a 41.316. Patrick McQuaid with a 40.64 as his best lap. And then number 25, our championship points leader, with a 40.62, his best lap of the night. As we follow this race for 4th place, this is Jonathan May in the all-black, 00, blacked out, no sponsors needed. He's got David Harris on his tail, about 0.03 of a second behind. Again, this is the battle for 4th here. Now, 29 laps to go. I expect for the next 9 laps or so, it's going to be what we've always seen. But with 20 laps to go, I think we're going to start seeing a lot of these guys jockeying for that late race position. As this track has shown us so far tonight, when a driver really wants to let loose and really start gaining some traction, they can do that. So I think, just my theory, about 8 laps, we're going to start seeing a lot of people. It's going to start closing up a little bit. Right now, everybody's giving each other some breathing room, but I think that's going to change here as we hop on board in the cockpit view of David Harris. Here we go. The battle for second between Patrick McQuaid and Joshua Hetrick. For the time being, going to be won by Joshua Hetrick in that 25 ORR lawn care car. But Patrick McQuaid battling it back out. He's going to go back into the inside line, almost touching the grass as they come across the start-finish line. It's going to be Patrick back in that second place. So here comes the first battle. As I said, we start getting closer to 20 laps. Some of these guys are going to start closing that gap, and we're going to start getting some real racing going on here as Joshua Hetrick, the points leader, has battled back from the 7th to 8th position all the way up to P3. We'll see if he can chase down Patrick McQuaid and get that P2, as every point matters here at the Auto Club 75-lap race, the opening race of the All-American Racing League Championship. This is the battle we can keep our eyes on right here, as Joshua's going to poke his nose back into that inside. But the outside line is proven. If you can get a good run off of the turn, you can usually keep your position. But Joshua seems to have sunk into that second place position as he takes it from Patrick McQuaid. But we just saw this last lap. We'll see if Patrick now dives into the inside, can take this position back from Joshua Hetrick. These guys running so close together, but they're 13 to 14 seconds behind our leader, Lewis Clark. Again, I said it before, it's going to take a big mistake for Lewis not to come home with this checkered flag. Jonathan May and David Hillbilly Hara fighting it out for that 4th place position as well. But we're going to keep our eyes right here, the battle for second. Here comes the 77 of Patrick McQuaid. He's going to try that inside line. We'll see if Joshua can hold him off. So far, so good. As we come back into the turn here, we'll see what kind of run Patrick can get. Joshua's going to give him that inside line. Still 23 laps to go. He knows there's nothing there to risk it. No need, but he's going to come back. There's going to be a little bit of contact between the 25 and the 77 of Patrick McQuaid. That's going to send Joshua Hetrick down almost to the grass, as these guys have almost swapped here. That's going to be really bad for Joshua. Hopefully he didn't get too much front-end damage here, as we got 23 laps to go. We'll see what kind of effect that has. It may be none. It may be pretty severe. It looked like it kind of caught the corner of his car, so it wasn't right there in the middle where that grill is. So hopefully there's not too much damage for Joshua, but it looks like he's going to lay off the throttle just a little bit, collect his thoughts back, as he knows 20 laps left. He's got plenty of time to catch Patrick McQuaid in the 77 car. back in here in 5th place. This is David Harris. David Hara. Keep saying his name wrong. If you say something 3 times, that's just all you'll remember it. So I've said his name wrong 3 times, and now it's a habit. So I apologize, David Hara. Hara, I believe. So my apologies. As you see him passing up Larry Garnes, looks like he's getting back down into the pits. Let's see. Crosses the blue line, but he might have just been giving way for David. Doesn't look like he's going to pit. He is 3 laps down, though. Frederick Hool and Tyrone Yohe also a lap down. Chad Snyder in 7th. David LaFarno 6th. A lot of playoff drivers in the back here on this one. Lewis Clark, not a playoff contention racer, but boy, does he look like it tonight. Hop back up to this battle for 2nd. Now that Joshua's recollected his thoughts. However, that little bump and run did cost him some time that he's just yet to be able to make up for, but still plenty of time to go. As you can see, coming into these turns, he's carrying a lot of momentum. Really grinding out those turns, trying to catch back up to Patrick McQuaid. Jonathan May with a 4-second gap between himself and David in that 5th place position. As we follow the 00 car of Jonathan May. 10 seconds behind Joshua Hetrix. So right now, you have Lewis Clark miles ahead of everybody else. Patrick McQuaid, Joshua Hetrix, the race for 2nd. They have a 4-second gap between the 4th place car of Jonathan, who has a 4-second gap between himself and the 5th car of David Harris. So if we don't get a caution here, if this stays green, this does look like this is what it's going to end up being. Other than that 2nd and 3rd, as we flip back to the 77, it does look like Joshua is reeling in Patrick little by little, turn by turn, lap by lap, as he's trying to get back into that 2nd place contention. There has been 0 cautions tonight, Big Chungus. We have been green flag racing the whole time, which has really afforded Lewis to get these big gaps. Throw a competition yellow, the chat says. You know, maybe with about, 3 laps to go, throw the competition yellow, get that green, white, checkered flag. But I don't think we're going to do that, as Lewis Clark has obviously deserved himself this win if it does indeed go the distance. I don't think anybody's going to be catching Lewis Clark. Stay tuned after the race, though. We will get some race interviews with these drivers. If it is Lewis Clark, we'll obviously pull him in either way, but we'll pull the winner in and we'll have some words with them. So stay tuned after the race as we come down to about that 15 to go mark. So as you can see on the back of Patrick McQuaid, little bit of damage back there that he received from Joshua Hetrix. Both drivers okay though. Joshua was well enough to catch it before it got out of hand here. Didn't spin Patrick or anything like that. But I am interested to see if we have front end damage on him or not. Doesn't look like anything detrimental. Again, it kind of caught the corner of the car. As you can see, that front fender on his passenger side is a little bit dinged up. That's really not going to affect the race car a whole lot. However, I say that, and Patrick's almost put a 2nd onto Joshua since that contact. So I don't know if Joshua is suffering from any sort of damage to that front end that's slowing him down, or if Josh is just kind of holding on to his tires. And with about 10 to go, we'll probably make a strong run here, so we'll see. As we do have a car in the pits, that's 00 of Jonathan May. As we see David LaForno and Chad Snyder jumping in the mix here into the top 5. Oh, that's what happened to Jonathan May. As we hop on board here a little bit back, let's see exactly what happened. So it looks like, I don't know if why he was coming down so hard, if he just lost control and started going down pit road, and he kind of just locked up them brakes, nowhere for him to go. So tough break for Jonathan May. I believe he was racing in that 4th position for quite some time. So unlucky for him, but it did open up some more spots for some other drivers, such as David Lurfano. Haven't called his name too much in that G Fuel Toyota Camry, but he's made his way all the way up to 4th position. He's racing side by side with the Jimmy Johnson Tribute Lowe's by Chad Snyder. David Hara in that 6th position, running the Silo Chevy Camaro. Let's see what kind of run Chad Snyder can get. These guys are both playoff drivers here, so this race matters right here as they jock for this 4th place position. Number 5 car of Chad Snyder might have fallen back. Nope, he's going to go for it back on the inside. Let's see if the number 8 car can hold him off as they come around this turn. And it's going to be the number 8 car of David Lurfano holding on to that 4th place position, but Chad Snyder giving him every bit of run he can. Oh, number 8's going to get up to a little too high. I don't know if there was yes, there is contact. That's going to slow him down just enough for Chad Snyder, I think, to take that 4th place. We'll see. I mean, he's got it for now, but we'll see what kind of outside run he can get. He needs to pop up high, and he does, to secure that 4th place position from the number 8 car, driving the G Fuel livery tonight. That is David Lurfano. He's going to get on the inside of Chad Snyder as they almost touch there. Tight race here for 4th place. As I check the relative between Patrick and Joshua, it looks like Patrick McQuaid has roughly a 3-second lead on Joshua Hetrix. So we're going to stay on board here with this battle for 4th between Chad Snyder and David Lurfano. Again, both playoff contention drivers. As they're battling it out here, we're coming up to 10 laps to go. You got it, buddy. Let's hop on in here. Switch back here to Chad Snyder in the 5 car, chasing down the number 8. The G Fuel, David Lurfano. See what kind of run he can get on him as he starts going up just a little bit high there. That's going to give David Lurfano just a little bit of an advantage. Coming off the turn, he's going to be able to put that gap between himself and the number 5 of Chad Snyder. So we see David Lurfano working the middle of the track there, then bouncing it up high in the straights. That seems to be the preferred line when there's no contention for position. A lot of guys like to dip towards the center of that track. The number 5, Chad Snyder, going to hit the wall there. Heard just a little bit of contact. He's going to have to lift more than he wanted to, but it looks like he corrected himself just fine. He's not going to lose much time. Check back in. Yeah, about a 4-second lead between Patrick and Joshua. Obviously, you can see Lewis Clark with a 15-second lead. 9 laps to go. This is the race for 4th. Looks like David Lurfano definitely giving himself a lot of breathing room here. He's going to need it as things are going to get real dicey here. We're going to look here. He's going to be working the outside line. Chad Snyder tried the middle line there as he's going to be coming up now on a mission. He knows he's got the speed. He's got what it takes to make this pass, but he's got to get some work done, and he's running out of time to do so. There's the number 20 car. You can see of Larry Garnes, who's 3 laps down. But if he can get close enough to Chad Snyder here, he might be able to use him and draft with him to give him the push that he needs to catch the 8 car of David Lurfano. Which it looks like that might be what he's trying to set up, as they're both working that middle line there. We'll see if he can take advantage of that. Obviously, we haven't seen too much drafting. This isn't Daytona, okay, or Talladega. But if a draft is available, where it's available, they'll use it. 14, 15-second lead between the first place and the second place car of Lewis Clark and Patrick McQuaid. Patrick McQuaid, sitting in second place, has a 5-second lead of third place Joshua Hetrix, who's 20 seconds behind our leader, David Lurfano, in fourth place, sitting back about 12 seconds behind the 3 car of Joshua Hetrix. So this is really the only race that's going on right now is for the fourth place position. So we'll stay on board. But as we come up on 5 laps to go, with 3 laps to go, we'll probably hop on with Lewis Clark. We'll give him his show, as he's put one on for us. He deserves the camera time when we go white checkered. We'll be on board with our race leader, Lewis Clark. Five laps to go here out of 75 at Auto Club. This is the first championship race here at All-American Racing League. We've had 0 cautions for a total of 0 laps. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left on the race timer with 4 laps to go now here at the 2-mile oval. As promised, 3 laps to go. We'll hop on board with Lewis Clark. Probably won't talk that much. Spotlight will be on him, as he has just ran a magnificent race tonight. Nobody's been able to catch him, whether it was practice, qualifying. We've had all green flag racing here, and it has been the Lewis Clark show, as he is 3 laps away from taking the Auto Club 75. As Lewis Clark comes around and takes the white flag, we're going to have 1 to go for the number 73, leading Patrick McQuaid and Joshua Hetrix, our top 3 here. As we see the relative on the top right, Chad Snyder and David Lurfano still racing for 4th. We'll hop over there just real quick But I want to make sure Lewis Clark gets his time here, as he ran a hell of a race. She's going to be coming out of turn 4 here. He's going to take the checkered flag all by himself, winning by almost 16 seconds here at Auto Club. It's going to be Lewis Clark taking the checkered flag at the first championship race here in Fontana, California. Ladies and gentlemen, what a heck of a show by this guy, Lewis Clark. I don't know why he's not a playoff contender, but man, he should be. As you see the fireworks going off to the left, it's a huge celebration going to be happening tonight in the Lewis Clark house and truck and trailer. Chad Snyder did hold on to the 4th place position from David Lurfano. David had it for a little while, but they were jockeying back and forth for position. I think Chad kind of had to overcome some damage there on the front right of his car. He kind of had to slow down a couple of laps, regain, but it looks like he did take that 4th position from David, as you got Travis Rodriguez in 6th, David Hera in 6th, 7th place, Travis in 6th, as we see some celebration donuts from Lewis Clark, Tyrone, Frederick Houle, Larry Garnes, and Jonathan May, who, by the way, never made it out of the pits. He's going to be the back marker of the night, finishing in 11th. Larry Garnes 10th, respectively, 2 laps down. What's that?
We brought Lewis in for interview.
Yeah, good. When he's done spinning out, we'll start asking him some questions. But take your time, Lewis. Take your time, buddy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have Lewis Clark for the post-race interview. First off, congratulations on the win, but I got to ask, you were the fastest car in practice, you were the fastest car in qualifying, and you never looked back. I think you led every lap except for when you had to pit, obviously, and by a mile. I don't know if you know this, but you won the race by about 15 seconds, Lewis. How do you feel?
Oh, I feel great. I've been watching the times from Patrick, trying to match the times. The race was pretty good. Yeah, because the tyres dropped off quite quick, more than what I was expecting them to. Got a groove going low in 1 and 2, high in 3 and 4, and yeah, it worked out perfectly.
Well, let me tell you something, man. That was a heck of a dominance performance. Again, congratulations, Lewis. I look forward to calling you for many more weeks. Let's see. You're not in the playoff contention. Now, I'm a little late to the game here, obviously. Did you join the season, or did you have some troubles during the regular season?
So no, I'm part-time driver here at All American Racing League. I'm mainly a road racer. I just come here for fun and help the boys out and have a good laugh with the boys. Yeah, that's why I'm not playing off in the playoffs. I was going to do full-time this season, but because I'm over the other side of the pond, it's, what time is it here now? It's 2 o'clock in the morning. So
yeah, two o'clock on a weekday, yeah. Probably a little late for you.
Yeah.
Anyways, hey, needless to say, you ran a heck of a race, man. Congratulations, blazing speed, and hopefully we do get to see a couple of more races this season. If not, it was a pleasure watching you, Lewis, and enjoy your night and get some sleep, my man.
Cheers, man. Can I just give a couple of shout-outs?
Yeah, man, floor's yours.
I want to say thank you to Project Dynamic Esports, my team, our actual official team sponsors, Omlinet, Redillion TV, Sim3D, Best Button Doctors, trying to get them on board here at AARL as a title sponsor. Yeah, thank you guys.
All right, Lewis, take care, buddy.
You too, man.
Thank you. There it is. That was your race winner, Lewis Clark, from practice to qualifying to 75 laps here at Auto Club. A dominant performance.
You want to speak of second place, Patrick?
Yeah, Patrick McQuaid. Get him on in here.
He's in.
Yeah, hey, Patrick, how are you, man? Hey, congratulations on the second place. How you feeling after 75 laps?
Pretty good, actually. Yeah, it was a long race, but after practice and qualifying, I didn't feel too confident. But me and Josh, with the battle we had, I was for sure on the last run that I ruined my tires. But
Yes.
they held up.
Sorry to cut you off, but speaking of that last run, so you and Joshua Hetrick were battling it out really close, bumper to bumper for a couple of laps there. I want to say with maybe 12 laps left, somewhere around there, he actually made contact with your back bumper, and he fell off, and he never really seemed to regain that speed on you. After that contact, do you think maybe he got some front end damage, or did maybe that contact maybe wake you up? Because again, after that contact, you kind of just took off and had second place. I think you had like a 4-second gap between yourself and Joshua.
Honestly, I'll take blame for that, because that was just a slide job that probably I shouldn't have done, but I appreciate him not hitting me harder than what it was. But he may have gotten some front end damage, but I know he was. I thought he said he hit the wall after that also, so that might have something to do with it. But yeah, I just kept holding my line, and it worked, obviously. But
Yeah, congratulations.
I apologize to him.
So as far, you'll be walking out of here, I think, with the points lead heading into next week's race. Obviously, the race winner, Lewis Clark, he's not a playoff contention driver. You finished second place, so you'll be walking out of here with the lead. As we get going into next week, what kind of preparation are you going to be taking? I mean, are you going to be running laps every day? Do you take some days off? Now that you're kind of the top guy here for at least a week, what's your mindset going to be from here on out?
Actually, that's news to me. I didn't even know I was in the playoffs. This is actually only my third start with.
Oh, my bad. You don't have a PO next to you. I thought on the I can't see everybody's last names on the sim racing apps, so I apologize. I didn't mean to get your hopes up there.
You're fine. You're completely fine. I'm just happy with the second place. After the past 2 weeks, I have not had the success that I did tonight. So.
Well, either way, congratulations on second place. You're going to be running every race for the rest of the season?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And thank you for the congratulations.
Yeah, man. Good luck to you, and we'll talk to you soon, okay?
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All righty. Can we get Joshua in here or no?
Yep, bringing him in next.
Okay. My apologies, chat and everybody watching. I thought I saw him with a PO, but I was mistaken, so I got that guy's hopes up for nothing. So
there's Josh.
Hey, Josh, how you doing? Do you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, so I wanted to ask you, first off, congratulations on finishing third. You started early on in this race, kind of in the back. I think at one time you were seventh and maybe even eighth position, and I turned the camera to you and said one thing about it, and the next thing I know, you're in like third place. So talk about the beginning of the race. Were you kind of holding back, saving tires, saving fuel, and then when you were ready to get on the gas, you were able to do that, or what kind of worked out? How was the beginning of your race in your mind?
I kind of hooked myself in qualifying, got a little loose. So I had to start in the back. I just knew that with the playoffs where I was, I needed to kind of get going. So I used my stuff up pretty early, was able to hold my own.
Sure.
For a while.
So I was just talking with Patrick. I don't know if you heard any of the interview, but we were talking, with about 15 laps left, you guys were bumper to bumper. You guys were, side by side. And then all of a sudden you made contact on his back bumper. And I'm not sure, you might have hit the wall a little bit after that as well. But when you hit that, when you made contact with your bumper, did you get some front end damage there? Because after that, it was kind of like a 4-second gap between you and Patrick.
I don't know if I had any damage on the front. Like he said, he was right. I bounced off the wall a couple times after that, but I had used my stuff up so much just trying to stay with him there and try and see if I could hold on for a second.
Well, hey, fair enough. So you came in as the points leader for the championship here. You're going to walk out as the point leader of the championship here. So congratulations either way on a strong third. As you said, bad quali. You had to work your way up to the front of the field, which you did. Congratulations. Keep racing hard, and I look forward to calling your name next week.
Appreciate it, brother.
All right, man. Is that it for driver interviews?
Yeah, I'd be the top 3.
All right, man. No problem there. Hey, good race by you too.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It was fun. Definitely a lot of fun, and
You were
show off that silo car a little bit.
Yeah, support your local outlaws, and we got some information out, and everything was real good. You were running pretty fast there, I'd say. Not the beginning, but like the mid before that pit. I mean, you were up there. You were challenging for like 4th place, maybe even 3rd place at one point. But I know you were in that 3rd, 4th, 5th place contention. And then after the pits, after everybody got their rotation back, you kind of dropped back a little bit. Was there something going on with your car? Was there some fatigue setting in, or were you like, hey, Lewis is miles ahead. Let's just lock in, run a racing line, and get the best we can?
Well, what happened is after the pit stop, I really tried to push the car a little bit to make up some time on these guys, and it worked. Except we were short pitting with the 5, and then as we were running harder, I got around the 5, got around a couple other cars, and then you had cars that were coming off pit road with fresh tires at that time, so they were getting at it as well. And by that time, I was starting to fade. Tire wear here is pretty it's pretty aggressive. It's pretty it's a lot, and especially with the driving line I was running, it was just wearing the tires out too much. We just couldn't keep up.
Yeah, we were lucky enough to catch some of the nose cameras and some of the chase cameras, and when you start getting into these turns, you can really start hearing those tires screech out. And it seemed like the longer the race went on, the higher cars started drifting up towards the wall of the track. So yeah, we could definitely see it even at home, the tire wear that you guys were dealing with. But anyways, good race. We're gonna close off here with just a recap. Lewis Clark, just a phenomenal race. He takes home the checkered flag. So really, really entertaining. Good for him. Again, he says he would race full time, but he's across the pond. And so 7 o'clock for us is like probably midnight for him and stuff like that. But a really good showing from Lewis Clark. I hope we see him at least for 1 or 2 more races. Patrick McQuaid going to be taking home 2nd place with Joshua Hetrix, our points leader, in 3rd. And next week, we are going to be